I would have gone if you had invited me. I would have stayed if my boss hadn't called. She would have written if she had had time. They would have come if we had invited them. I would have paid the bill if he had asked. I would have picked you up if you had asked. I would have taken the medicine if I had remembered. I would have gone if it hadn't rained. I would have finished it if she hadn't arrived. They would have told me if I had asked. Would you have spent the money if you hadn't needed? I would never have stayed if you had not asked. If I had been warned, I wouldn't have done what I did. If I had been careful, I wouldn't have fallen. I wouldn't have caught a cold if it hadn't been raining. If I had known she would be there, I wouldn't have gone. I wouldn't have spoken to her if I had been there. I wouldn't have done that if I had been able to avoid it. If I had been there, I would have spoken to him. If I had known you would do that, I would have stayed home. What would you have done if you had been in my place? Would you have bought the car if it had been cheaper? Where would you have spent your vacation if you had been able to choose? If I had known about the job, I would have applied for it. I would have done something if you hadn't been there. You wouldn't have fallen if you hadn't been running. The police wouldn't have stopped you if you hadn't been driving so fast. If you hadn't been speaking so loudly, he wouldn't have woken up. Even if I had known about the party, I wouldn't have gone. If it hadn't been cold, we would have gone out.